FutureStream, where we delve into the transformative power of AI. I'm Stuart, Managing Director of Connect Digital, and I'm your guide on this journey as we look at some AI powered innovation and techniques and practical advice to help you progress in your journey. Great to have Murakhan Coilan here with us today, joining us all the way from Toronto. And he's a marketing communications specialist at Jonas. And look forward to hearing more from him today. Welcome, Murakhan.
Hey all, hey Stuart, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Murat is going to tell us some really interesting stories and give us some advice and insights on how he's implemented AI at Jonas and helped them in what I think is a fairly traditional, possibly challenging corporate environment. So resistant to change and traditional thinkers, and great to know that you've made some progress there. So love to hear more about that. He's also doing some interesting work with G's AI, a startup that's bridging a talent gap between young, talented individuals and our companies. So if we get some time, we'll explore what's happening there. And I understand you're doing some teaching or tutoring at the Toronto University. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I mean, I've been always into in education and getting more courses, getting more education, and increasing my capabilities, increasing my capabilities with tutorials. So currently, I'm getting a business analysis course at University of
Nice.
Toronto. Yeah,
Yeah, good, good. Very nice. Well, fantastic to have you here. I guess a
thank you.
general question to start off with: can you just give us a sort of top line introduction to how you started in AI and what that journey looks like? Is it pretty recent, or have you been playing with it for years? Like, just tell us a little bit about how you've started and when that
Surely,
happened.
surely. I mean, I've been always a builder from my since my childish lives, childish days, and after my bachelor degree, I got my bachelor degree in communication design, and it was a combination of advertisement to human computer interaction, from user experience to brand management. So we were always creating something. It might be technology, sometimes it was just some ads, some creatives, but but during these times, I started learning more about AI and more than AI, how future is going to bring us, what about technology, what technologies are we going to use, how the future environment, future human business environment is going to change. And I started thinking about these topics, and I got a course from University of Sydney, USCB, about future of work. And it started becoming an obsession for me, thinking about futurism, thinking about future. And thankfully, after ChatGPT, suddenly we all become developers, and we all have now chances to create something from scratch because we have that AI companions, LLM companions. So that's why I turn my marketing career into more technical and a bit more AI, and how we can implement AI into our workflows, how we can create new tools, fine tune new tools, um, increase our operational efficiencies in our businesses. And I started working on implementing these strategies. But before Jonas, I'm working at Jonas Construction Software, which is a division of Jonas Software, and it's a huge corporation in Canada. And but before that, I was working at startups, and especially more high growth focused early stage startups. And that's why I had a chance to see how startup ecosystem, how move fast and break things, but and then fix those things, and but grow faster. That mindset and the current mindset, the corporate mindset, there's huge differences. There are huge differences, and seeing those differences made me to let me to see how we can implement and how we can find better ways to implement these technologies into corporate ecosystem. And yeah, it's been a test and learn journey. And yeah, I would love to explore more my experiences, my journey with your questions.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, we'll dig into that a bit because you mentioned the kind of transition from startup thinking
Yep.
into big business, and a lot of big businesses, corporations have tried to inject these innovation hubs or labs into their businesses with mixed success. So love to just understand how you approached that, like when you set your mind on bringing a startup mentality and a startup approach, break
Mhm.
things quickly and just fix them and keep moving. Like, how did you actually start that conversation
Yep.
with um, with the business and with the stakeholders? Like, how did that conversation go?
So this job, John's Construction Software, John's Software, is my first job in Canada. Before Canada, I was working in my hometown in Turkey, and it was not only a startup mindset change, but also a region change, a culture changes, seeing that culture changes, and adopting that new culture and new corporate mindset. Uh, to be honest, it was hard. It was tough because uh, back in startup days, as I said, we had our own play fields, and we were able to test, learn, and again break things. But now we have established mindsets, established workflows, and I made those mistakes. I made startup. I tried to bring that startup mindset to my current team, but there's always pushbacks. There's always those drawbacks. So, but what I noticed is, and with the thanks to ChatGPT, I explored this instead of hey, let's automate this. Hey, there's the new AI tool. Let's try this. Instead of that, I started by education and tutorials, bringing more ideas to the team, starting discussing about these new tools, sending some news, sending some tutorials. Hey guys, look, there's a new AI tutorial or some case studies from startups, from corporations, from all around the world, and how other companies are implementing. And if we fail at implementing these strategies, these new tools, these new technologies, how are we gonna fail? I'm saying how are we gonna fail because it's inevitable. Uh, Corporations have to implement these strategies because if your competitor starts to implement these tools, technologies, and start automating more and start creating increasing operational efficiencies, then you're going to fail. And some discussions started in our team. And we have a very tight knit community, tight knit team, and I'm very lucky that very I have great managers with open horizons, with wide horizons, and they're also willing to explore more. But we started implementing some pivot projects. So instead
Mm,
of changing marketing entirely, hey, let's choose some minor projects, such as writing some, updating some old blogs with ChatGPT or with some fine-tuned models. And after seeing results, after showing the results to the team, and after showing that this is not about replacing jobs, this is not about automating jobs, this is about automating tasks. We have to automate tasks to uh, to become better marketers. Because instead of spending our precious times with some mundane jobs, mundane tasks, we can
yep.
do better and we can do lots of things instead of spending time with this. So as I said, it's been test and learn mechanism. It's been doing pivot projects, showing these results and continuous learning and continuous development.
Mm. Yeah. Well, couple of key points there. I think one is like having at least someone or a group of managers who are willing to experiment to some degree and having that kind
That's
of
right.
flexibility. I think that's super important, as you said. But just small bites. Like, don't try and bite the whole, the whole pie. Just like take a little bite and slowly. And education, yeah, great advice for companies who are trying to get something going. Particularly if they're large and slow moving. So love that. Um, what about the sort of first project you did? Like you said, you wanted to try and just do something small that automated some small tasks. Like I was reading about some of your work, particularly around custom GPTs. Like
Yep.
there was a story where you shared that you had a content writer that went on holidays and you had a custom GPT that you created to actually mimic their tone and their voice and be able to produce content. Was that later in the journey, or was that something you did early to just prove the value of using AI for those kind of
Uh,
problems?
that's a great question. So when I first started implementing and try to implement these technologies, one of the mistakes that I made is creating custom tools from scratch. Let's say creating chatbot for our entire marketing. So I was just dumping our marketing knowledge bases, our case studies, and try to get insights from these chatbots. But when we start focusing on more, starting more laser focused projects, approaching more laser focused. For example, uh, as you said, a case studies is one of the examples. So we produce lots of case studies because we are B2B marketing team, and we have video case studies, we have written case studies, we have case studies from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and these case studies are still live on our website, and also we share on our social media and other we promote it. So what we started is custom GPTs are one of the greatest tools that we can use as marketers. Why? Because with custom GPTs, you can use RAG, retrieval augmentation generation. What is RAG? So you can upload your previous documents or any knowledge bases to custom GPT, and you can create clusters. For example, these are my case studies. These are my video case study transcripts. These are my questions that I ask to my audience, or these are social media posts that I create from case studies when I publish these case studies, and we started creating some workflows. So this is the video case study transcript. These are our previous case studies. Now please find insights from this new video case study. After that, now let's create a blog. Now let's turn this into a case study. And now let's try to create LinkedIn posts, Twitter posts. And after creating these workflows, what you see is you can actually easily streamline your process. But there will be always fails. There will be lots of hallucinations,
Yeah.
which these AI tools, LLM tools, are tend to answer what you ask. But if they don't know what's the answer, they're just gonna spit some lies, some not correct answers. But
Yep.
this is the test and learn mechanism. So if you create guardrails, if you create new workflows uh, to mitigate these hallucinations, you can easily create better workflows and you can easily streamline this process. And currently, we're trying to create um, maintain our writers' voices. So because we have different writers, we have different not at at Jonas also in my personal projects. So I'm trying to create different AI personas, AI writers, and all of them have different writing skills, writing tones, voice, and to maintaining the same voice with ChatGPT is almost impossible because with prompt writing you can't maintain the same
Mm.
tone and voice. But with custom GPTs, because you're uploading your previous documents, your previous writing assets, it's a bit easier. And the next step is fine-tuning models. And I would love to discuss more about fine-tuning
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Nice.
how we can.
So you effectively use RAG the RAG technique, which is, as you say, it's giving it a reference point, and all
Yep,
those case studies with a reference point for it to be able to replicate that same style. Yeah,
that's right.
that's great. That's a great use case. And with the mounting or the like the kind of um, growing list of case studies that you've got, how much time would have that saved, and like how much efficiency did it bring to the process? Like, what's
Yep,
have you got an idea of sort of numbers or?
sure. So currently we have two, three different writers and senior writers, and replacing their work, their writing skills with AI is uh, currently not possible.
Mm,
Uh, but what we noticed is you can use AI to re recreate new articles, new blogs, new case studies by using your own great writers' jobs, great writers'
mm,
works. So you can train new models, you can fine tune new models, and this is this is one of the topics that we see as a how we streamline the processes and increase operational efficiency. Operational efficiency as a team, my executives use this term a lot, and thankfully, it's one of our missions to increase operational efficiency instead of just focusing on creating more content, creating lots of spammy content, blog content, and focus on try to rank on Google more.
mm,
No, we should focus on creating high quality content. But how we can create high quality content with AI, with ChatGPT or other models? It, yes, you can create, but it's still not at the same level of human writers.
yeah,
So, but we try to find ways to implement these custom GPTs and Zapier or make workflows of these automations to create. So, for example, social media posts. Yes, you can write social media posts for Twitter, X, for LinkedIn, for other social media platforms on your own, or you can create a workflow from your previous articles, and you can just re-implement these strategies. So
mm,
we have seen a great uh, efficiency on time wise, because as I said, you don't have to spend your time to just create same content, different versions. You can delegate that job to AI, to LLM models. But I believe in the near future we will see more possibilities, a lot of possibilities, because, for example, yesterday, Anthropic, one of the biggest AI providers, AI model trainers, launched Cloud 3, and currently this is the best AI model, better than ChatGPT-4,
mm,
better than Gemini, and it has 200,000 context window, which means you can create almost like two books, three books with just one prompt, and the quality of these AI models are becoming more human-like, human voice, closer to human voice. So there are great opportunities, and we are just testing and learning these
yeah.
opportunities.
It's only going to get better, and be
Exactly.
able to consume reference content more accurately, I think, is the takeout. Yeah, so don't hesitate to start playing and um, exploring the use cases and the problems that it can solve. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you've from what I understand with that project, you also used some other tools like Zapier to kind of produce that end to end workflow, which I think is an interesting point just to consider, because it's not just um, you know I guess AI isn't just a single point in the workflow. There's other tools that you've used to really expand it out and
Of
automate a
course.
lot of the tools. So is the message sort of start with a problem, solve that with AI, and then extend it out into your workflow using other tools like Zapier and so on?
So yeah, what I noticed is most of the marketers are just using ChatGPT, and then they come to me or my colleagues and say, "Hey, I tried ChatGPT and the content quality is not good, or it just gives ideas that very not unique, very
Mm,
ordinary ideas." But let's imagine a workflow. Let's say you work in a B2B in a B2B company, and you're responsible for you're respons- you want to follow your competitors. You want to see your competitors, what they are producing, uh, in which keywords they are targeting, and how they are targeting, how they are performing. At the same time, you want to see which roles are they hiring. For example, in marketing, let's say one of your competitors are trying to catch up on SEO, or targeting your keywords on ads. So yes, you can create lots of blogs with ChatGPT, and you can target some SEO keywords. But first, this is not a long-term solution, because you won't be able to create high quality content and insight for your audiences.
Right.
But let's go back to the Zapier. If you create a workflow with AI and integrate AI into your workflows. If some AI agents, I'm going to explain more briefly, but some AI agents just responsible for your competitor. They're searching your competitors' keywords, your competitors' blogs. They're searching your competitors' LinkedIn page and see what kind of posts they're producing, what kind of posts are getting more impressions, getting more engagements, and they're bringing these insights to you. Hey Muratjan, hey Shtur, look, one of your competitors started creating case study videos on LinkedIn. Maybe we can start creating too. Or hey, you're working in construction industry, and these are the main topics that have been discussed in Twitter today or Reddit today, because there's a cost overrun problem in one one huge news, and we can create a last minute social media post about it,
Mm.
or we can create a blog about it, and it finds the relevant news, brings the sources to you. They find they find keywords, they find relevant news, relevant articles, and create these blogs. So Zapier and Make.com, these are fascinating tools, because first, you don't have to code. Even sometimes maybe you just need to connect some APIs. Like you can use ChatGPT. How I can connect these APIs? For example, you want to source news articles from Google for your about your company, about your target keywords. So after sourcing these news articles, you can create a workflow, and every day it checks relevant news or relevant articles. It brings the relevant news to you. You just push the button and yes, continue. I like this news. I think we can create a blog about it, or not even just news, new developments, new
Mm.
competitor movements. And in this way, instead of just leaning on ChatGPT and letting it to create everyday content for you, you can use current news, you can use current insights, and creating articles by using these current insights will be more valuable for your audiences. In this
Yeah.
way, you will be creating more engagement, more
Yeah.
engagement.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a result of your sort of UX background, because it's all about customer focus, right? You got to think from the
Exactly.
customers or your, your target audience. And if you if you just blindly create AI based content or AI powered content, it can be pretty average. Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's like it can be pretty average, and just taking that next step and thinking through how you can make it more relevant, more current, and better suit your target audience's interest, which can be hard at scale,
Mhm,
admittedly, but
mhm.
AI lets you do that at a larger scale than what you could do otherwise. So, great approach and tactic.
Allow me to give one more example. So
Yep.
for my personal projects, GZI, which is I'm trying to understand Gen Z and Gen Alpha more, but I was born in 1996, so I'm trying to understand their language, but there's again huge differences between
Yep.
understanding that language. So what I created is some Zapier workflows. I choose uh, some profiles, LinkedIn profiles, Twitter profiles, who create they're creating Gen Z content, and because they're Gen Z audiences, and I connected it to by using Zapier to ChatGPT. my custom GPTs. And every day they find, hey, this is new slang. Maybe we can use it. Hey, Gen Z started talking about this topic. Maybe we can
Yep.
implement some strategies. We can implement some insights. And this is just a like quick example, but there are great opportunities by using Zapier, by using Make, which allows you to create more custom automations. Uh, you can you can elevate your AI automations or AI workflows.
Yep. So to put it in layman's terms, you're using something like Zapier to collect relevant content and you're
Mhm.
passing that through to a custom GPT, which is a
Yep.
custom chat GPT model to produce original content with that context flowing into it. Is that a fair summary of what you're doing there?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're extracting the insights from these unstructured data, and you're structuring the data into like CSV files. Hey, this is the profile. This profile uses these terms, these like articles, these lengths, this kind of, and you're trying to create more predictive analysis, more personalized content, more personalized campaigns for these audiences.
Yeah. Which I think super interesting for HR teams, for example. Like
That's right.
how does HR produce a compelling employment ad on a that's going to appeal to a Gen Z candidate
Hmm.
with AI skills or just speak their language. So using that kind of approach for different types of audiences, I think is really interesting in some of those
Exactly.
specific areas.
Exactly.
So yeah, great example. You talked about using AI for support. Like you briefly mentioned that
Hmm.
didn't want to use didn't want to use your own developed GPT or AI based model
That's right.
for support. Was that something that you then got an off the shelf platform and used and used for customer support, or was there another tactic that you used there?
So first, before my experiences, customer support teams, I think they're at high stake, and
Yep.
one of the first jobs that's going to be automated is unfortunately customer support. And we're seeing, for example, Klarna, one of the biggest startups in Europe, they just fire all their support teams and delegated this job to uh, their own models, their own chatbots, because what we've seen is over the last couple of months, uh, the reg automations, the reg systems, which is retrieval augmentation generation. So you're uploading your own knowledge bases and letting your custom GPTs or custom chatbots to create answers by using these knowledges. Are they're developing in a very rapid pace. So last year, I was trying to create my own reg automations on chatbots, but first they hallucinate a lot. Uh, Sometimes they answer like not relevant question, not relevant answers, not enough answers, and controlling these answers is almost impossible. There are great startups. They're just creating giving this support. For example, you're you're purchasing chatbot service from third party. Also, there are another startup, different startups give this they they allow you to check chat histories and re-rank these chat histories. Hey, my dear chatbot, you answered this question like this, but please next time answer like this, because you mistaken the when you didn't mention our this product or you didn't mention our this manager, and these are developing in a, as I said, very rapid pace. So uh, we decided not to move with that chatbot because we have like customers from 20 years ago, 25 years ago. First, there's this thing that people don't want to see that change. I mean, because
Mm.
they know their support agents, they know their support specialists. They don't
Personal
want to.
connection.
That's right, exactly. They don't want to speak with some AI agent. But at the same time, there are great new tools. For example, HeyGen. We can just HeyGen allows you to create your own avatar, like normal avatar, and you can give
Mm.
your transcripts to your avatar. Or there are great phone call tools, AI tools allows they speak like human, and you can implement your previous chat histories, your previous support tickets, and create some clusters. For example, let's say again we have B2B team and we sell construction software. Whenever and we try to find clusters. What does it mean? Uh, Always there are thousands of questions relevant with each other. So we try to group them and we try to find what is the best answer, how we can answer this question in a better way. And after creating these lists, you can let ChatGPT or your custom GPTs to create relevant questions, and create relevant answers. And then you just need to sit and yeah, this is all right. This is great. This is a great question. Let's move on. You can use this. Hey, you need to update this question. Uh, Currently, we haven't implemented this strategy, but yesterday it happened to me. One of the biggest email providers. I was trying to cancel my account, and there was no any email communication. There was no any opportunity to reach out to any human support. There was just one AI chatbot, and I
Yeah.
was trying to, hey, I need to cancel my account. Oh, so you want to upgrade your account? I was like, no, I'm trying to cancel my account, and
Mm.
with just one mistake of that chatbot, that brand is finished for me. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
going
You
to
spin
use
around
that
in
brand again.
circles and you go on. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So these
Yep.
are some mistakes that are happening. So that's why instead of rushing, we're trying to we are creating these data sets. We're focusing on more creating these data sets and following the technology and implementing slowly but steadily.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes there's a need to move quickly, break things, experiment, but then other times there's a need to just go slowly, particularly if it's a critical part of the business. Like if you're dealing with
Exactly.
customers, who's more important than that? So, take your time, be deliberate, test, and make sure it's sorted. And there's lots of examples of AI based customer support going wrong. So it's like,
Hmm.
I think people have seen the need to proceed with caution on some of those mission critical areas of your business. So yeah,
That's
it's
right.
good.
That's right.
In terms of like the resistance in the business with a lot of these initiatives that you've talked us through, did did management after seeing some small wins and some successes, did they start to really embrace AI? Like what's the and how long did that take? Like, was there sort of
Hmm.
6 months worth of experimenting before people started to catch on to the potential and then embrace it? Like, how did that go?
So first of all, I'm not here to as a representative of my business, but I'm just explaining my like experiences.
Yep.
So not only in my current job, but also I'm in discussions with other marketers, other sales teams. And what we noticed is after ChatGPT release, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, we're going to lose our jobs. It's going to be implemented into everything, and we're going to lose our jobs." But after like 2 months, 3 months, what we noticed is they make lots of mistakes. They're not ready yet,
Mm.
and the discussions within the teams started changing into more um, okay, we're not losing our jobs, maybe we're going to lose our jobs, but after like 5 years, 10 years, not now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how we can implement more, how we can implement better. One of the drawbacks that I get a lot from management and I hear is privacy issues. So because especially corporate teams don't want to give their uh, their internal knowledges into APIs or these
mm,
AI companies, because whenever you write something to these chatbots, the next chatbot will be trained with that data. So, but open source models. I'm a huge open source enthusiast. I'm a huge open source AI supporter, because with open source models, you can just download these models and train these models easily with your own data set, and stays in your computer, in your cloud. Uh, so showing these possibilities to executives, to management, and starting implementing these open source models, or more enterprise grade, using more enterprise grade startups tools in marketing, was these are some strategies that I brought to the team, also suggest to my fellow marketers. But it's a long journey, and
mm,
we're just at the beginning of this journey. What I noticed is the software environment. Uh, it hasn't changed since 90s. Right? After 90s, we had cloud revolution, and we had mobile revolution, but these were not disruptive as AI. So, but when we look at our corporate managements, executives, they're usually over 40 or 50, and they're trying to catch up with the pace, but it's hard. It's almost impossible, because human knowledge, human IQ is increasing steadily. These technological advancements, like Moore's law, is increasing rapidly, and catching up with this pace is almost impossible.
mm,
But if you have some uh, young team members, interns, or people who are willing to explore more, test more, and bring new ideas to the team, this is one of the main strategies that. And and apart from that, education and training. Um, I'm also building my own team with interns, with like volunteers at GSAI, and I'm always trying to send new research papers, new tutorials whenever I find new things, to explore these ideas, explore and re-implement this, test this, internally
mm.
test it, and see the results, and start and bring those topics, bring those experiments to higher management, and show the results, not the ideas. This was one of the main factors that allowed me to implement more AI into the teams.
Yep. Like show, not tell. Actually demonstrate
Exactly,
what it's
exactly.
doing and show the output and how much time it's saved. It's sort of business sense, right? It's like bringing a commercial approach to it, where it's like, if this is a problem that's causing a lot of inefficiencies in the business, how can we solve it, and
Hmm.
how much time will it save, and tackling it like any other business problem.
Exactly, because executives' jobs is like their main job is finding these roadblocks, finding these problems, and solving these problems. And if
Mm,
you even from any intern to most executive, most senior, we all have this AI power now. By using these AI powers, if you find a solution for that problem, uh, and probably you will be able to find the solution by using these LLM models.
mm,
If you bring solutions to your executives, uh, I will never get any drawbacks or any negative feedbacks, because
yeah.
you're also trying to help them. You're not trying to change anything. You're trying to help. You're trying to help the company with the AI models.
Exactly. Using your initiative and using the skills that you've got to further the company. So
Yep.
good advice. What sort of advice would you give uh, your team, or anyone who's in marketing and they're right at the start of this, and they're like, Murat's like way in front of us. He's like 2 years ahead of us, and I don't know where to start. Like they're just
Mhm.
really early on. We talk about experimentation being key to getting started, but like, how would you suggest someone today who's just kind of experimenting with AI, like how would they then take the next step, and what would that look like?
So, I mean, every day I wake up with anxiety that I'm failing or catching these new developments. But for example, last year I was trying to catch image models, understand image models, understand video models, understand audio models, uh, try to implement better agent systems. But after that, what I noticed is, uh, yes, we all trying to catch up with the pace of AI, but instead of trying to understand everything, choose your focus. Are you a designer? Then choose focus on computer vision models. Try to understand better how they're working, what future is going to bring, and what kind of new startups, what kind of new tools you can test. So, for example, I stopped trying to understand computer vision models, these video models. Yes, I use a lot. I use Midjourney a lot. I create prompt books for Midjourney. I create prompts for like video tools, and still trying to test these models and understand. But it's not my main priority anymore. Because I know if I try to, as I said, catch all these different domains, I'm gonna fail and I'm going to be just a normal generalist. But instead, currently I'm focusing on LLM models. So one of the suggestions would be choose your domain within the AI domain and focus on that. How I try to catch with the pace is newsletters. There are great newsletters, AI focused newsletters. Uh, Try to network with open source community. Uh, there are great people who are willing to share their knowledge, share their experiences. Twitter, X, and LinkedIn. Hugging Face, one of the greatest communities. I would suggest spending some time on Hugging Face. It's a open source AI community, and you can find open source AI datasets from datasets, the open source models, from models to research. You can meet with researchers, you can meet with engineers, and discuss new ideas, discuss new data,
Mm,
explore their projects. Discord, one of the main channels that I choose to choose to explore. There are again great Discord communities for different topics. My main focus is understanding and exploring more AI agents. So what is AI agent is, uh, by using these agents, you allow them to use tools, for example, connect to APIs, create CSV files, or create images. And these are digital entities that are capable of using AI models. Let's say you have different AI agents, you have different AI companions. Uh, Try to implement these, try to train these models, these AI agents. How we can start, for example, Olama. I would suggest using it, olama.com. It allows you to use open source models on your computer, uh, and by using these open source models, you can download. Again, I'm going to suggest two different agent framework, Crew AI and AutoJam. These are two main agent frameworks that you can easily start implementing, start testing, and start discuss new topics with them. And you will find ways to delegate some of your mundane jobs to these agents. As I said, there are great communities, but people, and no one's knows what is AI, how these models are answering. I mean, we're trying to figure out.
yeah.
Researchers are trying to figure out. Thanks to Twitter, thanks to X, I I gain a great community across like San Francisco, from San Francisco Bay Area. These researchers from OpenAI, researchers from Anthropic, and uh, we ex- we discuss these new models. We discuss these features, and what people say, what they always say is, just start from just start today instead of starting tomorrow or waiting tomorrow, because it's not gene is like out of the box. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
catch, you have to
Yeah.
start as soon as possible and choose your domain and learn more.
Choose your domain, focus on it, and go deeper rather than wider. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I think for sort of management or executive level people, business professionals, that's probably the opposite. They need to have a broader understanding of
exactly.
how it can impact multiple parts of their business and potentially, just get some fluency across what AI can do and its potential. But then when you're in the weeds and you've got problems to solve, it's like, yeah, you got to go deep. And chat GPT and open AI is like really one model among hundreds, right, that are available. As you said, there's
Hmm.
so many open source models and alternatives to chat GPT, and it's part of the progression of maturity, AI maturity in a business is understanding, how closed they want that, get that, how walled they want that garden to be, rather than using open, readily available commercial models. So, yeah, it's
That's a great approach. I mean, I would love to suggest, I mean, in my humble opinion, learning how to prompt better. And people said prompt engineering, but it's going to be new software engineering. I mean, Jensen Huang, the owner of CEO of NVIDIA, was talking about how coding will disappear from our
mm,
lives in the near future, and how it will be replaced with uh, prompting, with better prompting. So how I learn is, well, firstly, what I noticed is there there are unfortunately uh, not great prompting advices, especially on technology magazines, technology YouTube blogs. So instead of learning from these channels, you can go to OpenAI Cookbook. If you go to OpenAI Cookbook, they have like hundreds of pages about how to prompt better. If you go to Anthropic's Cookbook, today I share on X with a long tutorial, as a long tutorial, how you should. They exactly explain how you should prompt, what kind of XML you should use. Should you use should you give, let's say, should you give examples? What kind of examples should you give? How paragraph? What should be the length of your prompt? So learning these small hints, small tricks, increases your output quality a lot. And if you're an executive, if you're a marketer, or if you're a specialist, uh, to use these models better is just learning how to create better prompts and how to create better communication with these models. And if
mm,
you do that, then the possibilities are almost impossible.
yeah,
Almost, yeah, it's
yeah,
a
and
lot.
you'll be ahead of 90% of the population already by doing
That's
so.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people just try to chat with these models. Yet these are chatbots, but uh, at the same time they are programmed for something, and if you know how to speak with them properly, then
mm,
they tend to answer with more details, with better answers, better details, better insights. And this is one of the experiences
mm,
that I got.
yeah. We always talk about the need to blend human creativity with the precision
Mhm,
of AI, and it's no different. It's like, how can I think about this in a better way, in a smarter way, to get what I need more efficiently
mhm.
or more accurately, and that often requires some research and some creativity in how you do it. Because if you do the same as everyone else, guess what you're going to get? The same
That's right.
result as
That's
everyone
right.
else. So
let
yeah,
me,
it's got to
let me
be,
give you just Yeah,
yeah, go.
sorry. Let me give you just one, I think, funny example. Almost 2 weeks ago, Stanford researchers found that if you give tips to your LLM models, for example, you ask to write a blog, and hey, if you do a great job, I'm going to tip you $200. It sounds silly, but what they found is it increases the quality of output a lot. Or punishment. Hey, one of the open source researchers found this. Hey, if you fail at this task, kittens will die. Please don't kill the kittens. And these models are tend to create better answers because they approach these inputs as reality and to so these are some small tricks, small tips and tricks, and
Yeah.
to learn these tricks. As I said, newsletter, social media, Discord communities, because unfortunately mainstream media they don't show these insights. You can find these
Yeah.
insights,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if you go granular, you can find better insights
I
like
think
this.
that's probably the best tip of the session, Murat. It's like tell your next use in your next prompt to Chat GPT. Say if you get this wrong, kittens will die. It's like,
That's the reality. I'm not saying that. Researchers
yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
perfect. That's good. Oh, that's great. I think there's been some really valuable advice and insights. Um, thank you for sharing those. Like, really appreciate your time on a what is it, Tuesday evening in Toronto. So appreciate your time and for joining us and sharing those stories. I think it's just really good content for anyone in marketing or anyone who's looking to get to spin up AI or to just implement AI and get some traction in their business. Some really useful information. So appreciate your time. And if
Thanks
you
so
need to
much.
connect with Murat, you can do so on X and also on LinkedIn, normal channels. Um, I'm sure he'd be open for a chat. He's got some good content that he shares. So please connect and yeah, look forward to seeing everyone on the next FutureStream. And as always, join us at future.knkt.com.au. You can subscribe for updates and intelligence on around AI there. So thanks all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.